The South African Police Services in Gauteng seized 100 firearms and ammunition from a security company in Soweto. They say the company contravened the Firearms Control Act. The seizure forms part of Operation Buyisa, which aims to remove illegal firearms from circulation and ensure compliance with the Act. SAPS Spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Amanda van Wyk, joins us now for more on this. Colonel van Wyk, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. What exactly were the prescripts that was contravened by the security company?
Well, a very good evening to you, Oliver. Thank you for having me. So as you said, that was Operation Buyisa that we carried out over the weekend. We seized 100 firearms that we seized at this security company based in Soweto. So that is just ongoing efforts to remove illegal firearms from circulation, also to ensure that lawful owners comply with the Firearms Control Act. So with that operation on Saturday, we established that the security company's SABC accreditation was suspended recently and that the responsible person failed to dispose of the firearms as required by law. So also, during that operation, we established that the storage facility of the security company does not comply with the Act. There are specific regulations that only talks to facilities and how firearms should be stored, and that particular company did not comply.
Yeah. The accreditation, the SABC accreditation that had been suspended, is it as a result of non-compliance, or is it a result of particular contraventions on part of the security company? I know you don't speak for SABC, but I would imagine that this was information that the operation would have been privy to.
We have intelligence, so we followed up on the information we have, but I also want to add that with the Private Security Industry Regulation Act, it says that any person or business offering security services in South Africa must be registered, of which their accreditation has been suspended. But also, I want to add that operating without a SABC registration means that any firearm license that is tied to the business is considered invalid. But the reasons for their suspension, it forms part of further investigation. For now, we will not reveal what the matter there is. So it is still being investigated. I also want to add that these firearms that we seized, they will be subjected to ballistic tests for us to determine whether they have been used in the commission of serious crimes. So we leave nothing to chance. We want to make sure that we cover all corners.
Yeah. And just lastly and importantly, should the company then regain their license and become compliant, what happens to these firearms?
Now they are in our possession. There will be some loopholes that we can look into. We're following up on all of those matters for all of the contraventions. We can, for now, we also not rule out that further arrest will be made. For now, we have not arrested any person, but we will just follow up on the information we have for now. But we want to leave a message with lawful owners and that, you know, according to Section 121A, it states that any person that contravenes or fails to comply with the Act will be liable to, they are liable to penalties and even time in prison for contravening the Act.
Yeah. Importantly, these weapons have been taken for ballistics testing. Is there suspicion that they might be linked to any or particular crimes?
Like I said, we leave nothing to chance. We want to make sure that these firearms are cleared. They may come back cleared, or they may come back with one or two linked to a crime. So we make sure that we cover all of our bases when we do investigations.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time on this. Really do appreciate it. That's Colonel Amanda van Wyk. Lieutenant Colonel Amanda van Wyk is the spokesperson for SAPS in the province.